Hey, what's up? I'm back again. Well, this will be my last video opportunity of the week, so I better make it good because I won't have any more opportunities now that we've reached Friday, and I would have made one yesterday on Veterans Day, but I just didn't get around to it, and I just had to get some sleep. You know, this whole thing about the fire in that other apartment has really just gotten my anxiety up to the point where, I find it hard to sleep. So I have to take the sleep whenever I can get it. Okay, I'd like to make a really quick, short video. Once again, I'm back on a subject matter that I just can't get off of. And I'd like to talk about, it's somewhat of a response video, but it's really not just a response video to, this one video, but just to many others like it. And I'd like to say something, and I probably said way too much, is that I just think it is totally ridiculous when people, it's usually F to M's, because I don't know, somehow or another, I'm always getting their videos associated with others. It's like when you watch one, you keep getting suggestions to watch others, okay? And, one thing that really makes me mad that I just do not understand, okay, is these F to M people that are always making videos about how things they didn't know about the men's room, which really I don't know how they can say they didn't know. I mean, there's only 500 videos that talk about this. Come on, how can you really not know? They didn't know that the men's room was a place where people didn't just carry on conversations, which personally I've never found to be the case with the women's room. You know what I'm saying? I don't really go to a lot of places with huge bathrooms, simply because, I really don't know where those places would be, I mean, I don't, the bathrooms that I typically would go in are relatively small, and I have never found it to be the case that women just start up conversations and say, oh, I love what you're wearing. No, I've never found that to be the case. I mean, half the people around here speak Spanish, which is obviously a language I'm not real fluent in. I barely know hola and como estás and adios, and you know what I'm saying, just a few words here and there, uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco. I mean, I can basically say a few words in Spanish, and that's about it. And about half the people, well, certainly the majority of the people in this godforsaken apartment speak Spanish. And unfortunately, of the English speakers, most of them are not white. You know what I'm saying? Even the English speakers are not majority white. So I don't call them minorities anymore. I call them non-whites, which is what they are, okay? And unfortunately, that's the majority of the population here. I feel like a fish out of water. This is where I feel awkward, but not because of my gender, because of my race, okay? So, basically, I don't find that to be the case, really. I mean, because as I've stated, a lot of the people around here speak Spanish to the point where even, you go in the women's room, and even if someone is talking in the women's room, there is a good chance that they don't even speak English a lot of the time. Their conversation might even be in Spanish, for all I know or care. Okay? So really, I haven't found it to be the case ever, that the women's room is just a place where you go and have conversation and you do your makeup. Well, no. The bathrooms that I visit, it seems to be like, you just go in and do your thing, whatever that is, whatever that might be. And I've never felt any awkwardness whatsoever, not even in high school, about using the bathroom. I've never used a male restroom, with the exception of a unisex room, and that's not really a male restroom, that's a unisex room. And the only reason I used that one was because, for whatever reason, there wasn't a women's room available, I've never specifically gone to a men's restroom because I don't consider myself a male. And as I've stated before, your clothing does not make you the gender, of that clothing. And this, this isn't even male clothing to begin with. It's a women's plaid flannel shirt that's kind of worn out. But I love it because it is a women's shirt, which you can tell from the buttons on the left. And I love clothing that is somewhat androgynous or unisex, but it is from the women's department. And the reason is because men's clothing does not fit me properly. You know what I'm saying? Men's clothing is made for men's bodies, and it doesn't fit me. And I don't want to start trying to wear it. But I just think it's ridiculous. You know, these people that say that it's awkward to poop in the women's room, or there's some kind of a taboo about pooping in the women's room, which I've never found to be the case. I mean, really, what are they going to do to stop you? You know, or what are they, I mean, first of all, how do they even know what you're doing? You know, if you're in the stall, you're on the toilet, you know, how do they really even know whether you're peeing, pooping, or both, or neither? You know what I'm saying? And as I've stated before, I'll only fart on the toilet. You know, if I said it once, I've said it a million times, I'm gas trained. Um, Type farting is gross in the search bar on my channel, and you'll hear all you want to know about that. But so anyway, I don't ever want to use the men's bathroom, not for any reason whatsoever. Okay, I hate the thought of it. It just it freaks me out, and you know, because I'm not a man. But I just don't get how it can be more awkward to use the women's bathroom for its intended purpose, so to speak. We'll put it that way. To do what you need to do in the women's bathroom, how can it be more awkward than to go in front of the gender that thinks half the world's population doesn't poop? You know what I'm saying? I mean, if pooping is awkward, it's awkward in front of the sex or gender that wants us to only exist for their sexual needs. You know what I'm saying? If pooping is awkward, it's not around other women. You know, I'd rather go in front of any woman on the planet, including the voice of Angelica Pickles, than a single solitary male. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather go in front of a whole group of women, you know, just no stall, nothing to hide what I'm doing, just in the woods. You know, I'd rather go in the woods in front of a group of women than in a stall next to a man. That is how I feel about it. You know, it is the male gender that thinks we don't have bowel functions, okay? The male gender is the one that is stupid like that, you know? And so I don't feel awkward around other women doing what I have to do in the women's bathroom, because that is where I belong.